The award-winning movie The Blind Side may have all been based on a lie.
It really is shocking. This lawsuit filed today by the former NFL star who the movie was based on. The details here surprising to everyone hearing about this news today. Larry Ridley.
How you doing? My name is Antonio. My page is Unapologetically Black, ADOS. I ask that you like and subscribe to the page. Anybody who have been watching my videos would not have been surprised by this outcome. White people charity comes with shackles. This has been known to us throughout history if we have ever really paid attention to our interactions with white people. So this black man should have known this, and he would have known this if he had been informed about our interactions with these Europeans throughout history.
Here now with more of the details.
Yeah, of course, we all remember that movie about 14 years ago that came out. Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for that performance. Yeah, the black former NFL player who was supposedly adopted by a rich white family out of poverty has filed a lawsuit in a Tennessee court. Michael Orr, who was the inspiration behind the movie The Blind Side, alleges the Tuohy family made millions off a lie. Or the subject of that movie petitioned the court today with a 14-page filing saying Sean and Leanne Tuohy, who took him into their home when he was a teenager in high school, never adopted him. Or says instead of a few months before he turned 18 back in 2004, the Tuohys tricked him into signing a document making them his conservators and legal guardians, giving them authority to make money off his name. And he consented to that conservatorship because he thought that he would become part of the Tuohy family. Or also alleges the Tuohys made a deal that paid their family, including their birth children, millions of dollars from royalties from that movie, The Blind Side. Or got none of the money there and claims he just found out about this in February and says he was embarrassed. Now, The Blind Side movie came out in 2009, starring Sandra Bullock. She won an Oscar for that, and Tim McGraw playing Leanne and Sean Tuohy. The movie grossed over $300 million. Orr says the movie would not have existed without him. Sean Tuohy responded this afternoon saying he would, of course, be willing to end Orr's conservatorship, and what they were devastated by those allegations. So there you go. That's the latest there from the Tuohys and from Michael Orr.
Extraordinary.
You know, even my
Black people must learn that white people charities come with shackles attached to them. We have to learn this because we're repeating the same mistake continuously. This brother traded himself into slavery in exchange for white people acceptance. That is what really happened. He wanted to be adopted by these white people, and he allowed them to get him to sign a conservatorship and allow them to make money off of his image and benefit off the hard work that he put in. And on top of that, they went and portrayed him as an idiot and denied all his real true contributions that he himself put into making himself a success, and took credit for that work as if they was the motivation behind his success.
Joins us here in studio, author of the new book, When Your Back's Against the Wall. He wrote, I Beat the Odds. And you just said you feel like you've been mislabeled sometimes, misunderstood. And I think, at least from what I've read in the book, a lot of that stems from how you were portrayed in the movie The Blind Side. And that people might have the wrong idea of your personality, number one, that you were this kind of shy wallflower, that you were timid and you had to be kind of like drawn out of your shell, when in reality, you were a workaholic, you were hyper organized, and you were like, damn it, I'm making something of myself no matter what it takes after a rough background. Is that the big one that you feel you were mislabeled as?
I think it took away the hard work and the dedication that I created from a child, and going to school in the third grade, getting myself up, first one in the locker room, last one out. And I think the biggest for me is, being portrayed, not being able to read or write. Second grade, I was doing plays in front of the school. And I think that's one of the, when you go into a locker room and your teammates don't think you can learn a playbook, that weighs heavy on someone, and you have to understand. I understand that the movie has given me a position. I'm honored to have the position it's given me. But
and even when you are misrepresented by Europeans, still black men are forced to be apologetic to white people about complaining about their misrepresentation of themselves. How are you grateful to people who took you in for about a year period of time and then benefited $100 million off of that 1 year? If you don't see that they had a goal and a plan in mind for you from the moment they had took you in, then you're still naive and ignorant to the ways of Europeans. You were an investment from day one. And the way that they had you portrayed in a movie, being that those was your accomplishments prior to meeting that family, is insulting. And the fact that you can't stand up and say that as a black man is the reason why you're so vulnerable in 2020 to be enslaved by Europeans. This grown-ass man is in a conservatorship where white people have to make decisions on the contracts that he signed professionally. Someone else has actual control over his life. He has placed himself in the position that Britney Spears was in with her father. This grown-ass black man went and got a white daddy and then wondered why his white daddy mistreated him. You have to hold yourself accountable for this too. You was 18 years old. Your idolizing of white people is what put you in this condition. Wake up.
you know, you have to understand. Before I moved in with the family, I was an All-American. That's what I want the generations behind me to see in this book right here, to understand that you don't have to have someone save you and rescue you to go out and be successful. You got every tool in you. And this book right here is a playbook on life. You know, looking yourself in the mirror when I was 11, 12-year-old kid, telling myself, hey, everyone around you is even in an even worse situation that you're in. So you're going to have to get up and do this thing yourself, and developing a routine right then when I could have given up at 11, 12-year-old, as an 11 to 12-year-old kid. So that's what I'm trying to paint the message in this book right here. And looking through everything that I went through and finding a positive in it.
At some point, the environment he was in that was shaped by the politics of America made him lose hope and faith in himself, and made him have hope and faith in these white people. Seeing their wealth, seeing what they had, and their access to resources and access to people that you did not have, that his parents did not have, their access to these colleges, being alumni, all that white privilege made him lose faith in himself and the work that he put in, and place his faith and belief in this white savior. This is the system that is set up through white supremacy and them continually to hold all the resources to themselves.
And it wasn't that you don't have gratitude to the family that took you in. That's really
very
not the
grateful.
message.
Very grateful for every family that helped me throughout this journey. It's a lot of people that deserve a lot of credit. For me, I want to show the young people and everyone behind me that, hey, you deserve some credit for your hard work. You can get it done, and that's really the goal.
Trying to give credit back to the white family who did not really deserve any credit. That's why the brother had to explain that it was many of families that took him in, But those other families did not benefit millions of dollars off of him. So you have to understand, they still wanted him to be a white apologetic, and due to the fact that he feel he might need white resources, he continued that process of not full-fledged attack. But I can see, I have that third eye, I have that vision, the evilness of these people, just based off the way that they portrayed you as this dummy that they came and saved. That shows me the discontent that they actually have for you. So you can continue to ignore that all you want to, black man, but other black people need to see this and pay attention.